welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. I'm here to share some information that can change your life today. So pay attention. First of all, what we do here at MyShape Lipo is we do liposuction, which is the removal of fat, the physical removal of fat, so it's gone forever. We also do fat transfer, so if you have fat in one place and you don't want it, but you do want it in some other areas, like the breast or the butt, we transfer it to that area. It's your fat, gives you a natural enhancement. That procedure would replace like implants to the breast or the butt. It's also known as a Brazilian butt lift. So if you have any questions regarding these procedures, I'm happy to help you. But you'll see the pictures that we're showing behind here. These patients got incredible, amazing change, and this is only liposuction. There's no cutting away of the skin. And I'm happy to announce that we are offering this 15% off special at this point. We have a 15% off special this month only. This month only. So you have to place a deposit, which is a 25% deposit. You have to place that by the end of the month in order to take advantage of this special. What's up, studio? Cynthia, welcome. And if you have not joined our private Facebook group, I highly suggest you get on the private Facebook group. We have many of our previous patients. All these pictures that you'll see behind us are from individuals that are sharing on that group. So our previous patients jump on that group and they share their stories, good, bad, ugly. So those of you who are interested in getting this procedure, you're curious, you're not sure what to think, you're not sure how to make decisions, connecting with our previous patients is an excellent way to get the updated information for you to get the best results. Our patients have gone through this whole process and they've learned from their experience and they're sharing their experience with the new individuals. So it's almost like having a friend or a family member that has had the procedure from MyShape. Let's see, Mamo. Okay, how about the fupa left after having 2 kids? Will I need a tummy tuck, or can lipo help with that? Well, in fact, what I did with our offerings is we include when we treat the front of the abdomen. So larger individuals tend to have that fupa area. So not only do they have the folding belly, but the fullness around the pubic area. So we have limitations on how much fat that we can remove on these larger individuals. So what we do is we focus our efforts on the front of the abdomen. You can see this is what we did here. We focus our efforts on the front of the abdomen, get a significant amount. We're very aggressive, get a lot of fat out of there. And when you do that, that fold can go away. And there's no cutting away the skin. There's no tummy tuck here. And these are still swollen. So this is going to continue to get better. So when we remove large volumes like this, we also, when we treat the front of the abdomen, we go from just below the breast line where you have that natural endpoint, we go down below, we cross over that natural fold that you have down there at the bottom, and then we go into the fupa area or the pubic area and do whatever's needed there. In which case, in most cases, you're having some fullness there, and so we're going to cross over that folded skin. So imagine it's got the folded skin, we have to cross over that and break up all that connective tissue, so when we take the fat out, the skin will lie flat. You see what happens here. Now when it lies flat after the procedure, we put compression garments on. The compression garments hold it in position, and for the next couple of weeks, your body will create scar tissue. All of our bodies do. This is the magic of our own body, right? We do this. We already have the potential for this. Everybody has the potential for this. So our body creates that scar tissue and essentially works like glue. It sticks the stuff together. So we keep the skin in position there, and the body forms the scar tissue, effectively tightening everything up, and that's how we get these results. So you got Kat here on the Facebook channel, Kat from MyShape. She's posting our link to the group. So I'm gonna pin that real quick here. So if you're on Facebook, first of all, if you're on Facebook, hit the share button. We need to expose this 15% off special to as many people as possible. Also, I know there's lots of individuals out there that think that they need a tummy tuck or have been told that you have to do a tummy tuck, and I hope that we can save these individuals. There's no tummy tuck required. It's just not required, and the fact that you've been told you have to have a tummy tuck is a blatant lie. There's options. Okay, just understand you have options, and the options for a tummy tuck are what they are. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. But we're here to offer you another option. There's a different way to get the results that you want, and it doesn't require those big cutting of the skin. Okay, what is the Facebook thing called? It's when you go search for it, it's My Shape Lipo Support Group. Something seems off on here. There we go. So if you go search on Facebook, My Shape Lipo Support Group, and you'll find us there. But this is a cool story how this young lady came into our office. She came with her friend whom she was recommending to get a procedure. So her friend got a procedure from us, and we didn't I don't necessarily recognize everybody's face, right? So I didn't recognize who she was and that she was a previous patient of ours until almost when she was leaving. They mentioned that her friend had the procedure, and she didn't even say anything. I was surprised, right? She didn't say anything. And so, we're like, we might as well get some pictures while you're here. And sure enough, man, unbelievable results. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, this is why I never really know what happens to my patients afterwards, unless you stay in contact. We connect with you as much as we can, but a lot of people, many people, particularly in the past, would just disappear. If you're happy, you just disappear. You go about your life, you get your results and you go about your life. When we created the private Facebook group, it was like amazing. For me, it made this so much more rewarding because I can actually follow these people's stories and see how they're progressing. And not only that, not just progressing as far as like physical results, but also you get to watch and see how their mental mindset advances and grows as they get more and more confidence, and they feel like they have the ability to do more things. When you're larger like this, you tend to wear clothes that are not showing off your assets. So they'd be more like cover-ups or spandex of sorts that it's just to get it to fit you, because in many cases the clothes, they're not built, they're not made for larger individuals. So in order to cover larger individuals, they make them big, really big and drapey. It's like putting on a sheet over yourself. And I think that in many cases when when people get these procedures, you have to make a choice that you're going to change the way that you think. And this young lady here, interesting thing to me was she didn't necessarily change, and she still wore those. That's why it was hard to tell, because she was wearing big baggy clothes, so it was hard to tell what her results were like just by looking through her clothes, because she was covering up still. And what I found is many women, it's just like the go-to, is the normal state of being. You're covering up instead of wearing clothes that are showing off, because you're comfortable and confident in your own skin, and you want other people to see it because you're happy, you're excited, and that's the difference in the level of confidence that you can get. And just because you get these results does not mean that confidence automatically comes. It takes effort still. And what I've found is the way to get that confidence to continue to grow and advance, it's like a muscle. You got to work at it. And so it's this idea, this concept of constant and never-ending improvement. So if every day you're slowly improving just a little bit better, that slow improvement each day, that each little step you take, you get a level of confidence increase. You feel a little bit better than yourself. And then when you turn around and you look back what you did in the past month, and you see how you strung together all these positive days and these amazing improvements, and next thing you know, it was a big change in 30 days. And then you do that for 6 months, and you're like, holy crap, I'm a different person. And a year comes along, and it's like nobody even recognizes you anymore. And I'm telling you from experience, this is the way my life has been, because I've made some huge dramatic changes in my life, and just like our patients have. And I hope that my personal, the way that I live my life, it can spill over and affect and influence other individuals. And I know it already has. This is Blanquita. She's one of our previous patients. She's had multiple procedures. She just messaged me the other day. She sent me some new pictures, and she's 3 years post-op now, and she's changed her life dramatically. She's very healthy now as far as her intake. She eats healthy food, and she's drinking plenty of water, and she's an advocate for the healthy lifestyle. So when you're an advocate for the healthy lifestyle, you'll tend to attract other people that are just like you. If you're not an advocate for the healthy lifestyle, what happens? You attract the people that are negative, right? So if you're what you call yourself a foodie, right? If you call yourself a foodie, you're going to attract other foodies. And the foodies are the people that you're eating for the sake of eating. It's like gluttony is what the Bible calls it, right? So we're just eating. we're eating too much. We're eating for the sake of eating, and that's not what it was meant to be. And that's why our culture has changed the whole makeup of the people. And so now the whole makeup of our people, we're like 60% of us are considered obese. And not only are we considered obese, but that comes with a whole host of disease processes. See, nobody really tells you this stuff. You may know, you realize that these disease processes come from the obesity, but you gotta get like a smack in the face to realize and wake up and open your eyes to realize what's been happening to you. It's been happening to all of us, but many of us just kind of glide through life, and we go about, and when you become more conscious and aware of things, you can see that there's a lot of things that you're just kind of duped, right? I had this belief. I'm sure someone, many of you, the rest of us had the same belief, but I had this belief growing up that if restaurants serve the food, it must be good for me. It must be edible. If the grocery stores sell it, it must be good for me. It must be edible. That was the belief process. I figured, hey, whatever they're selling, it must be good. I mean, otherwise the FDA would have stopped them from selling it, right? Well, that was a false belief. And it's a belief that got me into a lot of trouble, and it's probably gotten a lot of you into trouble as well, is believing that the food that is just sold to us, that any of it is going to be good for us just because it's the FDA has approved it. And that's just not the case. It's just not the case. And the more of the research that you do, you find that there's been a lot of businesses, and this is unfortunately it's a lot of the businesses that their intent was to offer a cheaper product and for the consumer while charging a higher premium, so they make a bigger profit margin. This is what the intent, the simple basic energy that was going forward with every business is they're profit generators. So they're looking to make money. It was not to make you healthy or me healthy. It was not. That was not the intent at all by the government or any of the businesses. Not the intent. Okay, the government's intent was to be able to feed as many people as possible for the cheapest price. And how do they do that? They did it with GMO, which means that the growth modifying organism, where they literally changed the seeds genetically modified organisms. So they changed the seeds, the genes of these plants, and the plants to get the plant to produce more. Okay, sounds good, right? Sounds great. Makes sense to me. I'm a business owner, right? We can get plants to be producing more. They're resistant to a bigger yield, and more consistently, because it's the crops aren't prone to bugs, right? Sounds great. Problem is GMO causes disease processes, and since it modifies the genes of the plant, the structure of the plant doesn't really work with our system anymore. See, our system, our body, when we intake natural foods, it's like the chemicals, they go together. Everything works. It's the DNA is like the instructions, right? The DNA is like the instructions for our body. When you change the DNA of the food, it messes up the instructions. And so when your body doesn't know what to do with the instructions, nothing works right. And so, or maybe some of the instructions work right and some of the instructions don't. So it leads to, you still have the appearance of maybe healthy, but if you do this over decades, you end up getting disease processes and perhaps cancer. So this is something that we already know about. I'm not even gonna have to tell you about like the studies that were done. I mean, this is like all out in the open right now. Other things that we've been, the toxins are from the chemicals that they spray on plants. We ingest that stuff. The food that the animals eat. This is a big thing that nobody realizes, right? The food that the animals eat. So the food that they give the animals is the cheapest food possible to get them the biggest possible, right? So again, this is all profit margin stuff. So that's the reason why this stuff has happened to us. So when you wake up and you're like, holy crap, all this stuff is bad for me. Now I need to start figuring out what's good for me. It's a little scary. And you start finding that there's a lot of things that are bad for us. We're being exposed to a lot of toxins. So that's why I talk about a lot of cleansing and detoxifying our body to help cleanse out the garbage, because we're going to be exposed to this stuff anyways. You can try to reduce your exposures from different places. There's lots of different techniques to do that. So I highly suggest You research that. Avoid toxins, that's the first part. But then the toxins that we do ingest, you want to help your body to cleanse it out. And so there's different techniques to be doing that. All of this is to get your body in a state of being where your body can function properly. Because if your body's not functioning properly, nothing works. And that's it. That's the basis of all of our disease processes. If it's not functioning properly, then it starts to break down. And when it starts to break down, it's just like your car. If you had something that was wearing, it may not wear out right away, but in time it wears out, and now you have to replace it. So in humans, what does that mean? So you're walking on these bad knees, and these bad knees, they might hurt you today, and you might be able to continue walking on it for another decade or so, but eventually we have to replace it. So as humans, our thought process is, well, let's just figure out how to replace it, then we don't have to change our patterns, right? And so that's what we did. We figured out, okay, we can just chop the knee up and put a new replacement part in there, sew you up, and you're good to go. You can continue living the same lifestyle and don't change anything. That's what the idea was. Okay, now the problem is that those people that continue living the same lifestyle, they end up just deteriorating something else. And the something else was already in the works for the past decades. So when you deteriorate your body and you don't replenish and rebuild, then it's just a matter of time until things start failing. And what are the things that start failing? Our heart, our kidneys, our liver. These are the organs that stop functioning. When they stop functioning, your life sucks. And we take all these simple things for granted that we're able to function and do these things. But if you don't take care of yourself now, there won't be a you for tomorrow. All right, let's see if there's any questions here. I appreciate, Kat and Sierra, they're jumping on Facebook, answering questions. Okay. Momo says, in my opinion, I'd love lipo. I would agree. I've had lipo myself, so I really like, and I see how it changes people's lives every day. So that's why I enjoy talking about it. So thanks for clarifying that I'm looking into getting lipo. How much for the abdominal area? So if you're interested, the first thing that you can do as we're speaking right now is you can go on to our website, myshapelipo.com, and we have this quick quote system. It's simply you click the button, enter your basic information, and you're going to get an instant quote. You don't need to send pictures or anything. And the quote is based off of your BMI. We categorize, there's different price categories for various BMIs and recommendations, safety recommendations based on your BMI. So that's all, it's all automated and so easy. Anybody can do it. You can do it right now and get a quick response. Now, when you're serious, now that you got your price and it's very accurate. It's very accurate. So once you got your price, you're going to set up your formal consultation. It's $100, but you're going to meet with myself for 30 minutes, and we're going to discuss specifically all your questions, concerns, discuss your medical history, and make sure that you're a good candidate, and then we develop a plan specifically for you to get you the results that you're looking for. Now, the cool thing is that we have all this backlog history that when you're wondering, you're curious, like, what is it going to be like for me? Well, there's a lot of people that are just like you. So you just got to search through our, and again, I'm going to revert back to this private Facebook group. Get on the private Facebook group, because these are the individuals that are sharing it, and go find them. Not only can you find them so you can see the pictures visually, but you can then connect with them directly through, private message, and ask them questions and find out more information. And they're like your coach. It's like a mentor, and it's really a cool situation. Where are we located? We are located in Las Vegas. And about 85% of our patients are flying from out of state, so we try to make it as easy as possible. It says, I want to get lipo on my back and stomach. However, I was looking into getting on an arm lift one day. Do you recommend lipo for the arms? I hate my big arms. The same thing that happens for the belly, it happens for the arms. We talk about the belly a lot just because that's the most common thing that people want to talk about. But we do the entire body. We do the chin. We do the arms, we do the underarms and the back, we do the full waistline all the way around. We'll do breast reductions, we'll do butt reductions, but those are usually People are looking to increase those, but we can reduce them. We do full thighs too. We do calves and ankles. I mean, anywhere you have fat, it can be sucked off, and that's what we specialize in. So although we've created packages for our common procedures, um, that's the stuff that you'll find on the quick quote. If you got something different that you want to talk about, by all means, let's talk. We'll figure it out for you. And the arms are awesome. They're easy. I did my mom's arms a few years back, and it really makes such a big difference. And you can see, like from this young lady here, she's got that fullness in her arms. And when the girls put those arms down by the sides, it starts to bulge out right here. When you have bigger arms, you see how it bulges out on the side there, and it gives you width. And so when you take the arms down, it narrows you out. And again, you can see here how it narrows out the back as well. So we treat the underarm area, the side of the breast, and the upper back, the bra roll area. So, man, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. All those rolls, and I mean, it's like, it's incredible that this can change so quickly. And it's fun to be able to help people achieve these goals, because these goals, like when people get these type of results, it affects every aspect of their life. And the cool thing that I've been seeing, and it's becoming more and more obvious to me, is that as these people's lives improve, they start improving all of the lives around them. So that's the ripple effect. And it might just be because mom's in a better mood, she feels better about herself, she makes better decisions, she treats you better. And think about how when mom is treating everyone else better, how those people are affected. And it continues to ripple out. And as you are able to achieve these type of results, it's almost like you have the blueprint, and you have the path, and how to get these kind of results. And so you can become a mentor. Just instantly, you have the value of a mentor, where you have the ability to then share your experience, share your knowledge, share your wisdom, and help someone else who was in the situation that you were once in. That's the magic to this stuff. And the interesting thing is when you start sharing your knowledge and your experience, then the people that you're helping hold you accountable. It's so important. I'm telling you, like these little things, these little parts, and I keep talking about it. You'll hear repetition over and over and over. I keep talking about the same things. The reason why I'm repeating these things over and over and over is because it's so important. Just the fact of me saying these things to you, it helps me solidify in my mind, and then keeps me accountable the rest of my life. So that's why I enjoy coming and sharing this information. I enjoy paying it forward, not because I know I'm going to help people. I know I'm going to help people, but I enjoy it because I'm getting benefit myself. Because I learn. It's another repetition, and that's why I hope you keep showing up to these talks every freaking time I do this. Twice a week, 3 times a week, however much I'm going to do it. You should show up and you should hear what I'm saying. You got to hear the repetition, because if you want to change your life like this, you got to keep yourself on track. You got to stay accountable. You got to keep doing repetition, and you got to change your habits. We are a combination of all of our habits. That's it. Human psychology is not as complex as you think it is. It's not that complex. We are all creatures of habit. Now the question is did you choose the habits, or were they given to you? Were you programmed? So most of us, we grew up watching TV. And the programming on TV was very specific. When we went to school, the programming in school, it taught us to do certain things. We were made to believe that the things that in our life now are normal. I really had this eye-opening opportunity when I was able to travel out of the country and see that our normal is not normal for other people in different countries. It's not normal. They don't do the same things. The things that we take for granted as being normal, it's just that all of us, you and me, we all just agreed it's normal. And that's the way we do things. However, in other countries, it's not normal. And in fact, they do things totally different. And that's okay. And it's not right, and it's not wrong. And the way we do things, they're not right or wrong. Unless you decide. If you decide it's wrong, then all of a sudden it is. If you decide it's right, then it's right. So the point is that the things that you've been taught and the way that you've been programmed as to be what's right, sometimes you got to question in your life, why do you do the things that you do? Are you doing it because it's the best thing to do for you? Or are you doing it just because that's what you remember you were told to do? That's the way you were programmed when you were a kid, and you've continued to do it for decades. Because what I know for sure is that the life that we get is just a combination of the things that we do leading up to that point. So the eternal now, the right now that we're experiencing, the only way to experience something in the now is to do the things that lead up to it. Okay, so if you go out to, eat every night and you're eating fast food, you're drinking soda, it's just inevitable. Your body keeps score, right? So your body is keeping score your whole life. And either you're doing things that are making your body better or you're doing things that are making your body worse, plus or minus, right? Your body keeps score each day. Just imagine like we're playing a video game. It's just a big game of life. You're playing a video game, and every day you're either improving your body or you're taking away from your body. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And over the course of a year, 365 days, how many positive do you have? How many negative do you have? That's the thing that you don't really realize because you don't track. I don't track either until lately. I'm starting to track more of this stuff. But if you can have more positive, it's inevitable. I promise you, it's inevitable that you will achieve whatever you want. It's inevitable. You just have to slowly improve and get to that point. And maybe it takes you a decade, or maybe you decide to do it faster. How fast can you run a mile? Well, some people can run it in under 4 minutes. Other people, it takes them 15 minutes. But yet it's the same distance. So what's the difference? I mean, the difference is that they move faster. So you can do the same thing. You can get these results faster. Just go faster. Move faster. Do more. Faster. Be more extreme on your dietary restrictions. Be more extreme on your exercise routines. Be more extreme on your ability to drink water. Your sleep patterns. You gotta get this stuff right. If you get it right, I'm telling you, it's like lining everything up in the row, and then you can go. Life is smooth. Lynette says, I enjoy how this is like a reset in a way. However, from this point on, it has to be a life change. I love how honest and truthful you are. Well, thanks, Lynette. That's what, I preach this stuff all day long because it does have to be, it's a life transformation is how I like to refer to it. Now, we can get the fat off of you very quickly. And so it gives you the visual, the physical world. You can appreciate that you're smaller. So quickly, you'll appreciate that really quick. However, if you don't change your mindset and you don't change the way that you live your life and the habits and the patterns and the lifestyle that you do, then you're just going to eventually recreate the same old thing. Because remember, what we are now is only an accumulation of what we have been doing. Okay, so if you continue to do the same bad stuff, you're just eventually going to recreate the same problems. And this is what I find people do. And it's so sad to see when someone comes to me, they spend all this money, they're super excited, they're happy for the first couple months and everything's great, then they disappear because life's great. They go about their life, they go do their stuff. And then I come, 2-3 years down the road, I get another phone call, or they're back in my office and like, oh, hey, what's going on? How's everything going? Well, I didn't change my diet. I've been doing these things, and I gained 20 pounds, and I can't stand this belly. The same thing, right? The same thing that they were there for 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever the case. Same thing. They just recreated it. And when they recreate the problem, now you got to pay for it again. So what I learned is the problems in our life, they're only there for us to learn a lesson. And you are going to continue to experience the same problems until you learn a lesson. And once you learn a lesson, you don't have to experience it anymore. Simple. Now, unfortunately, there's some lessons that you don't get too many warning signs. You know, my mom, she's 72, something like that. She got a warning sign where she had carotid artery disease. So the arteries that go through here, she has they're clogged. So she had to get surgery. And fortunately, surgery went okay, and she's doing well now. Um, but she realized how unhealthy the lifestyle was that she was living. And the crazy thing was is she didn't feel like she was living an unhealthy healthy lifestyle at all. She in fact, it was the exact opposite. She felt like she was living very healthy. So when she started doing research, she realized that she was wrong. And that's kind of the key is in your life, you have to realize that the things that you were doing were wrong in order to change them. The only way that you can change is if you realize that the things that you're doing were not the right things to do. And then why you have to change, you have to understand the consequences of the bad things that you've been doing. And so that gives you leverage. So for example, if you're drinking soda and and you think, you know, someone said soda was bad and you thought it was a sugar, right? So you switched over to diet soda and you've been drinking diet soda, but you're still gaining weight and you're like, I don't know what's going on. And then you go do research and realize, oh, well, the sweetener stuff that's causing the problem, and you know, or whatever. There's some bad stuff in there. So you know, then you eliminate the soda altogether, and then you start seeing results. So sometimes it's just the education. You know, they say knowledge is power, but knowledge isn't power, it's potential power. Because if you don't utilize that knowledge, then it's not powerful at all. It's nothing. It's just words. It's just an idea. So the information that you take, you have to implement into your life or else it's wasted. And you become powerless. The only time the information, the knowledge becomes power is when you put it into action. You have to become a doer. And if you become a doer, you can manifest and change everything into your life. Heather says, thanks for making me look hot again. That's good to hear that. I like when people share that stuff. So again, I'm just going to repeat, we're doing this 15% off sale right now. If you're interested, this simple basic thing, if you want to get pricing, you should go check out our website, myshapelipo.com. You can click on the quick quote link. The quick quote gives you an instant quote. You just fill out some basic information, select a couple options of the type of procedure that you want, and you magically get a quote instantly. And the quote's based off of your BMI, in which we utilize to categorize individuals for pricing, and also for safety measures as well. For larger individuals, we have different safety protocols. So the BMI helps us to do that. Now, once you got your pricing, it's all, you know, super exciting, right? Because you realize, well, this is way more affordable than I thought it was going to be. The next step is getting your formal consultation. I need to speak with everybody who wants to do the procedure. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I want to make sure that you're healthy. I want to make sure that your expectations are in line and realistic with what is possible. What's up, Lynette Bakota on YouTube? Okay, Jazzy's World says, with the arms, is it per arm or both arms included? Now, you know, I know other companies charge per arm, but who in their right mind would treat one arm at a time? So then you got to question, why would they quote you at one arm? One arm is a different price. Why would they do that? So you got to start thinking, right? So in most cases, the reason why they tell you it's one arm for the price is because they can tell you that it's a cheaper price, and they can advertise and market that it's a cheaper price. Oh, it's $7.99 per area, but one area is just this little piece, and your arms are 3 areas or something. You know, like it's the bait and switch stuff. So we don't do that stuff. Like I've been doing this a long time, and you know, the way that I package my deals is so we can get you the best results. And when we do that, you know, when we package these things together, for example, like the arms, typically people with larger arms have fullness in the underarm area. The larger breasts kind of roll into the underarm, so you got these fullness. So when you put the arms down by the side, it bulges out in the front, bulges out in the back. And then you also got this fullness back here. And you can see this in this picture above here, how she's got the fullness under the underarm and these different rolls. So typically people with larger arms, they have the same problems. So we put the package together to take care of the whole problem. Also, individuals in the whole upper body, we have the whole upper body package, which includes the arms, the chin, the underarms, and the upper back here. And it's the whole package. It takes care of the whole problem for you. And coincidentally, that's about as big of a procedure as we can do in one procedure. So again, I tried to produce these packages that were the biggest procedure that we can make the biggest bang for the buck and do everything for you for one low price. The packages include the Smart Lipo with laser skin tightening on specific areas like the arms or the front of the abdomen or the chin. It's just included in there. It's not an option anymore. It's just included because it's the best thing for you. So I wanted to create these packages that were eliminated the choice to make a bad choice, because some people do that, and they do that usually for for cost reasons. Let's see. Heather says, I feel attacked. I'm sorry, Heather. I don't know why you feel attacked. So Jazzy's World, go check out the quick quote. The pricing is there. And when you're ready, get your formal consultation. So for instance, if I wanted to get my arms done and my chin done, will it be 3 sections or 2? So again, we don't do our billing like that. It's not per area. We have package deals, and you can see the basic pricing there. And if you don't want something that fits into our package deal, then that's where we can discuss that stuff in the formal consultation. So the quick quotes are good, right? They help most people, and most people can get very accurate quotes. But there's clearly some limitation. It's a computer, it's a software, it's something that's gonna it's meant to help you, but it's not the end all be all. So it's meant to give you an idea of what's going on and what the price is going to be. I see somebody saying mine is going to be 20,000. Well, one procedure I promise you is not going to be 20,000. If you need to get your entire body with liposuction, then yeah, it'll probably be more than 20,000. But I always tell people, just take this one step at a time. You're not going to get your full body done unless you go to Mexico or Colombia, then you might not come back. But in the United States, we have safety protocols, and we have limitations and such that we can still make huge dramatic change, but it has to be done the right way. So larger individuals, you got to take this one step at a time. I live in California. Can I get a virtual consultation? Absolutely, that's what we do. The first step, though, is to get your quick quote. It's easy. You don't need any consultation. Okay, I have me quoted for 10 areas. I'm almost ready. So Miss T, again, our pricing has changed. So if you were quoted for 10 areas, it's probably not that anymore. So go through our quick quote, and when you're ready, get the formal consultation. And it's probably, a way better price than it was before. Okay, how about the scar healing? So scar healing, first of all, our incision points are tiny little puncture holes. They're 2 millimeters. Now, when those heal over, they generally will turn a darker color initially, and you get a little raised like bump where the scar is, and it takes about a year, but the scar will eventually fade away. Yeah, Ms. T, go get your formal consultation. Things have changed. It's been a while. But you can see how this, like when you got this big front of the belly, and just simply taking it away, it opens up a whole new world to you. Not only can you wear different clothes, but it's like without that belly in your way, I mean, you can do other things like running, right? Maybe you're more active. Maybe you have more flexibility. Maybe you can wear different clothes. Maybe just because you can wear different clothes, you feel more confident in going different places or seeing different people. Maybe you want to go back to your high school reunion because you're like, now I want people to see me. I get that a lot. People come get liposuction for their high school reunion, because they want to look better. And you can, absolutely. You always have the choice of improving. And it is simply that. It is simply a choice. You get to choose every day. When you wake up, you get to decide, hey, do I want to get better today, or do I want to be lazy and slide back a little bit? Because that's essentially what happens. You either improve or you get worse. Every day. Improve or get worse. And you either get a plus or a minus for the day. And if you can rack up enough pluses for the year, you're going to be better overall for the year. Unfortunately, sometimes these negative days can stack up, right? You can go, splurge and eat way too much, and that one negative day was more like a 5 negative day or a 10 negative day. So it's important to be around other people that are on the same path as you, and this is where holding people accountable for each other. When you're around friends that are trying to live the same lifestyle and trying to improve, trying to get better, when you're around people like that, you get better, they get better, everybody improves. Get to wear better clothes. I mean, you see these pictures. I like the pictures when these individuals, you can see them wearing clothes that they would have never been able to wear before, that they would have never felt confident in. And it's simply, you just give a waistline. I'm telling you, this stuff is not magic. It's just a waistline, but yet it does everything for people. It allows them to look and feel a certain way about themselves, and that certain way you feel about yourself is that's everything, because your life is just about how do you feel about yourself. It's a series of days, nows. Right now, how do you feel today? You feel good? Awesome, that's good. Let's string a bunch of those days together. You feel like crap, you got to stop that. You got to do something different, right? You don't have energy, you got to do something different. You feel unhealthy, you got to start doing something different, because if you're doing the same things, you're going to recreate the same problems. This is not like rocket science here, and most of you probably already knew these things, but it's just a matter of making that decision. You got to decide that now is the time. I want to make a change. I want to make a difference, because I'm so sick and tired of the way I was doing stuff before, the results that I was getting. I'm so sick and tired of that it's time to change. And individuals like this young lady, she made the big change, and it paid off huge. She told me that she was able to decrease her blood pressure medication significantly. And she takes now a quarter of the blood pressure medication, and her blood pressure is better controlled than it was before the procedure, just 4 months out. She also has PCOS, and she had an irregular period, and she was getting it once or twice a year. And she said since the procedure, amazingly, she's gotten it every month on time, regularly. Which, I don't know why this stuff works. I do know that in removing large volumes of fat, it affects the hormones. Something happens in the hormones, and it affects many aspects of your body. And there's, we'll call them side effects, but they're positive effects. There are many things that are beneficial. Lowering the blood pressure is just one of those things. I know many women have said that they get a decreased appetite for months after the procedure. I don't know why that happens. I've heard people say some people have issues with mood issues, good and bad. Again, I think it's hormone related. Some people get where they're able to lose weight after procedure. Again, all this stuff is hormone related. Our bodies function on hormones, and when our hormones are out of whack, then nothing functions well. I'm telling you, it's like these are the little things. If you start getting a solid foundation and take care of all the little things, it's like you grow from the bottom up. But what's the foundation? The foundation is what are you intaking? So your food, what kind of food are you eating? You got to get healthy organic food. More vegetables than meat. If you want to eat meat, that's your choice, but make sure it's healthy meats, organics. The water that you consume, it's a choice. You got to choose the right water, and it doesn't have to be all this expensive bottled water. Get yourself a water bottle and get a good reverse osmosis filter, and you got cheap water that you can drink unlimited. Or there's, I like to purchase, they have the pH water, and we buy the big 5-gallon jugs. It's, say $30 a month. for your water for the whole family. So that's possible. So get good water, get good food. Then you got to make sure you're getting good sleep. These are the foundations, right? Your foundations. You get a good sleep pattern. So you're going to sleep at the same time, you're waking up at the same time. This is ideal. I know it's not possible in all of our lives, but you got to do the best that you can do. Sleep's important. Then your activity level. What's your activity level? So we got food, we got water, we got sleep, and your activity level. And your activity level is what it is. If you don't know how much activity you're doing, there's ways to track this stuff. So I have this little tracker right here. This is called a Whoop, WHOOP, and it tracks my activities. And I don't have to do anything to track it. It keeps track of all these things, and it gives me recommendations on what I should be doing, whether I should be resting more because I've been working out too hard, or whether I can work out harder because I've been resting too much. So if you track it, it'll give you a better idea of what you have to do to improve. So that's a good thing to do. So these are the simple, basic foundations, and you can continue to improve in each category. Your food, you can continue to get better. Your water, you can continue to drink more and get better with it. Your activity level, keep changing, keep improving, keep doing more. All these things are up to you. It's your choice, and the only one that benefits is you. So if you don't do it, I don't care. Nobody cares. The only one that's going to benefit is you. So if you don't do it, so what? That's why it's so easy to not do. That's why people don't do it. And nobody's going to say, hey, you haven't been eating right. You haven't been doing it. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody cares. Because the only consequences come on you. Think about this stuff. The only consequences will come on you. So you are the one that has to get up in the morning and do your exercises. You are the one that has to make the choice of to eat the right food. You are the one that has to get to bed on time. That's it. Nobody else's responsibility. And as soon as you take responsibility for this stuff, everything changes. And you can make that decision today to start changing. And you don't have to do everything all at once. No, it's a slow improvement. Slow improvement over time. One step at a time. One day, slow improvement. But if you can manage a 1% improvement every day for 365 days of a year, that's 365% increase. That's threefold increase in improvement in doing what you've done. Threefold in a year. Imagine what you could do with that. Imagine what is possible for you. Because a lot of people are so focused on this, they see it so difficult to achieve these results. So like they go to the gym and they work out for, a week or 2 weeks, and then they decide, this is too hard, or something comes up and they can't show up, and then that habit gets broken. So let's see, Anna Lopez says, how much is the 360 and a BBL? So the 360 and the BBL, awesome picture, right on cue. All of our pricing you can get on the quick quote. So it's going to be dependent on the individual, and we base it off of the BMI. Some individuals will be able to do the 360 in one procedure, and larger individuals it may take two. So the quick quote system will help categorize you and give you and guide you in the right direction of what is right for you. And then if you feel for whatever reason the recommendations are wrong, or you're concerned, or you have questions, or whatever, just that's where you want to take it to the next level, and you want to speak with me directly. So you sign up for the paid consultation. You'll meet with me for 30 minutes. We'll review your picture, review everything. You ask all your questions, and I'll explain to you why we make the decision that we make, and hopefully we can get on the same page as far as making the safe decision for you. When people make the decision to change their life, I know a lot of people say that change takes forever and it's so hard and it's so difficult, and it's just not true. It's not true. Change doesn't take that long. It takes a decision. You have to decide to change, and you have to decide that change is a must and not just a should. Because when you should change, when you should lose some weight, when you should go out and walk, when you should eat the right food, it just takes one excuse to be like, I should do it, but I'm just going to do this now. I should go to the gym, but I'm not going to. I should eat right, but today's my birthday. I'm gonna have cake, right? I should do this. And so when you start changing your life, your whole life, from a should to a must, that's when your life changes. Because when you make that decision that I must change, there's no other choice. When you're saying I must eat right, there's not even an option to not eat right. It's not even an option. I must exercise more. It's not an option to not exercise more. And so, in psychologically, when you use this verbiage, these words are like, we spell the words, so we're casting spells. You're casting magical spells on your subconscious. When you utilize these words, it casts a spell on your subconscious. And I'm telling you, words like magic. Because when you start speaking to yourself different and say, I must change, it's different than saying I should. And your subconscious will register that and you'll start implementing into your life. Because when you go out to eat and you're like, well, I must eat right. Then it's not a choice of, well, should I get a dessert? No, you shouldn't, because you must eat right. And then you start holding yourself accountable. And then when you start getting the results, when you start losing the weight, when you start achieving, the shapes that you're looking for, when your skin starts improving, when your mood starts improving, when your energy level starts improving, when all that stuff starts happening, it's just further confirmation that you're doing the right thing, and it'll spur you forward. And the more you do, the faster the change. The faster the change, the more you're going to want to do, because it's exciting. And that's where the confidence just slowly rises. And eventually you're like, I'm a badass. And why do I think I'm a badass? It's because of all these things that I've done in the past to get to where I am now. Because I deserve everything that I have right now. And if you can believe that, that's where the confidence is. I deserve this stuff. I deserve it because I've worked hard for it. And if you have that mindset, your confidence will be off the charts. I can tell you, Blanquita here, she deserves everything she has. And she is super confident because of it. And not only is she confident, but she knows how she got there. And she knows how challenging it was. And so she is able to serve others as a mentor. So she can show you the path. She can show you how she did it. Now, you may not agree with what she's done. You may not want the same results as what she's got. You may not be willing to do as much as she has done. However, you can see what's possible, and you can see what it takes. Because so many times in our lives, it's like we see these superstars, these amazing people. We have no idea how they got there. All the struggles, the trials and tribulations, how many challenges they've had to go through, how many times they've gotten put down, fired, kicked, like beat down, and we don't get to see that stuff. These athletes, we don't get to see all the training, the hard work, the sweat and tears, the thousands and thousands of hours that they put into their craft. We don't get to see that stuff. But yet with the liposuction, these girls are showing their path. So there's no secret anymore. And you have the ability to follow in the path. It's just, you just do what they did. And if you do what they did, in all likelihood, eventually you're going to get the same results. Now, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. Your mindset doesn't change overnight. The confidence doesn't improve overnight. Maybe you can get quick results, but we want long-term results. It's better to be happy for decades than to be happy quickly. It's better to have these results and have the results stick around for decades than to just get quick results and then they go away because you don't change. All right. So again, I'm going to repeat. We're doing this 15% off sale right now. It's a spring lipo sale, and if you haven't already gotten your pricing yet, the first step is going to our website and getting the quick quote. The quick quote is a simple process where you enter your information, make a few selections depending on what you want, and you get your price. And then once you got your price, now you can start moving forward, and you can make sure that you have enough money for the procedure. But the next step is placing your deposit, and particularly if you want to take advantage of the 15% off, you have to place your deposit by the end of the month. So Once you get your price, the next step is getting the formal consultation. So you have to have a formal consultation in order to move forward with the procedure. I need to speak with everybody to make sure that we're on the right page, and we're not making any recommendations that are not accurate. So although the quick quote is good, it's not 100%, and you need a human eye on you to make sure that the recommendations are appropriate. So thank you so much for watching. Get those quick quotes. Make sure you're taking advantage of the 15% off sale. You got to put your deposit before the end of the month. This is for summer ready. If you want to be ready for the summer, it's going to take time to heal. So now's the time. Get the procedure, take advantage of the special, save some money, and I will see you next time.